Hi. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bounded and Bookmarked. Today's video is a 24-hour readathon video. I am pumped. It's like 12:30 right now, I believe. I'm on my first sprint with the girls at the moment, but I wanted to take a minute to go over my TBR for this weekend. So for this readathon, the first book I'm going to be starting out with is a book that I never really intended to read, and that book is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I have never read a book by V.E. Schwab before. Before this 24-hour readathon, I decided that this is a great book to read. My friends have said that it's a fast-paced book and that it's really exciting, and the story is very catching, so I'm excited for that. It follows these two boys, Victor and Eli, who I guess have been kind of a part of some experiment, and this experiment was basically to put people under certain circumstances to see if they would develop enhanced abilities. That's the first book, the first plan so far. I'm like 4 pages in. And I have no real thoughts yet except the first chapter. The end of that chapter was very like what I like to see at the beginning of a book. Like I want a book that's gonna reel me in very quickly, and this book is already doing that. And then the next book is, I think it's a book that I read in the March, could have even been the April 24-hour readathon. I can't remember which one exactly, but many of you know that I read The Cruel Prince not long ago, and so I was like, you know what? I miss Jude, I miss Cardan. No, I don't. I really miss Jude. I don't miss Cardan at all. But I know that I'm gonna get more of Cardan in this book, which is The Wicked King by Holly Black. So it's just a continuation of The Cruel Prince. I'm not sure how I'll feel about Cardan in this one. I'm hoping that my thoughts change on him a little bit, because like I said, I know he's a love interest in this book, in this story, and I don't like to dislike the love interest in the story, and that rarely happens anyway. So my hope is that he wins me over, because it seems like he's won most of you over, so that's my hope. But last and certainly not least are going to be volumes 4 and 5, maybe 6 of The Midnight Secretary, and it is a romance, a paranormal romance manga, and I've already read volumes 1 through 3, and they're incredible. Like, I love them so much. It's got that trope where it's like, I can't stand you, but I love you. It's that trope, and it's so cute. It's very steamy, and it's workplace, so that's nice. Like, she's his secretary. It's just a lot of fun. That's my TBR for this 24-hour readathon. So I have about 20 minutes left in the very first sprint on Mel's channel. I want to get a good way through Vicious before we get off of the sprints tonight. So if you happen to have taken part in our readathon this time around, please let me know in the comment section below what you read, how you did. I want to know. So let me know how y'all did this time around. And for those of you who joined us, thank you for joining us. Peace.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey.
Get it, Mel. So I have a lot to say about Vicious right now. It is really going well. I'm really enjoying it a lot. It's getting late, so it's getting really dark in my room. I had to turn on like all my lights. And speaking of lights and books and reading at nighttime especially, I want to give a huge shout out and a huge thank you to the sponsors of today's video, which is Vaunt. Vaunt is a company that produces many lights for various different activities. If any of you know me at all, or just kind of know my habits, my bad habits at that, I'm always reading at nighttime in my bedroom. I have a lamp by my bed, but it's very dull, and then my bedroom light is just way too bright, and it lights up the entire bedroom. And so to alleviate that whole issue, I have now, thanks to Vaunt, a book light that clips onto my book while I'm reading. I haven't been using it for very long tonight, but from what I've seen so far, I really enjoy it. So this 6 LED light is a clip-on reading light which has the warm lighting. There are 3 light settings that you would use by clicking the top button, and once you're finished, also click that button once again to turn it off, and again you just remove the clip off your book and you're good to go. This is a 16 LED clip-on reading light that you're seeing here. It is also a clip-on, and it can go onto a desk or a table. The piece that opens up is quite wide. It also has 2 grips on the bottom, making it very easy to place onto a table or a desk, and it will not move very much at all. And you turn the lights on by simply placing your finger on the top of the bottom part and go through the 3 light settings, and that's all. And so I wanted to also point out, in my description box below, you will see 2 links. Both of those links are to the products themselves, and I will also have down below in my description box a discount code that you can use on honestly an already really affordable product. So if you're interested in that, check it out. And thank you again to Vaunt for sponsoring this video. Okay, back to my readathon. It's 4:30 in the morning, and I was getting sleepy as I was reading, so I figured I should come on here really fast and probably update you before I get like way too tired to say anything that makes sense. So I finally got to the 100-page mark of Vicious by V. Schwab. This writing is fantastic. I don't really read a lot of books that kind of grab you in that first page and a half. This book has definitely done that. I'm not gonna be doing any spoilers, but let me just say, Victor and Eli are out here doing too much in the name of science, okay? Let me just talk about what this book's about in a nutshell, because when I told y'all in the very beginning of this vlog, it was very vague because I didn't know much about the book. So to be more specific without going into any spoilers, I told y'all that they were doing an experiment, or that they were part of an experiment. They are the ones actually performing the experiment in the name of science for their thesis. And so their experiment that they're choosing to do is very interesting. Because they're working with near-death experiences. You know, they're getting that experience firsthand. I can say that much at least. I think I can say this without it being I don't think it's a spoiler. Because you learn it pretty fast. It's not. I'm gonna say it. Don't get mad at me. I don't think it's a spoiler though. But basically Victor and Eli are going to be getting themselves to a near-death kind of situation. They are going to be trying to figure out in what ways can you become someone with enhanced abilities, and they're using near-death experiences to test that theory. However, they out here doing a lot. What I'm enjoying though, Eli and Victor are really great friends. They're very close. I see this jealousy kind of seeping through every part of their friendship. On Victor's end, something obviously happens, and we're actually going through dual timeline. We're getting flashbacks to when they were in college doing these experiments, and then we're getting like the present moment. And the present moment is my favorite so far because I don't know what's happening. I'm lost. I don't know. But I'm curious to find out exactly what went wrong with the experiments. And with the way that Victor's speaking about Eli in the present moment makes me wonder what has gone down over the last 10, because it's a 10-year span between the two timelines. So what went down in the last decade? I mean, it's really good so far. There's a couple of components that I'm a little confused about just because I don't think that we've been told them yet. I still have quite a bit to go in the story, so I know that I'm going to be learning a lot more about some of the side characters that have been introduced to this book, particularly one little girl that I'm just like, what's her purpose in the story? Because I know she has one, but I haven't learned it yet. I'm really tired though. It's almost 5 a.m. and I really want to stay up all night. I just don't know if I can do it. I said I was team no sleep. Am I gonna make a liar out of myself? I don't know, y'all. My bed's feeling really comfortable right now. It's feeling mad cozy. So your girl might take a couple hour nap. I think that's acceptable. Honestly, y'all wouldn't even know if I went to sleep. I can sit here and be like, yeah, I didn't sleep at all. But I'm being honest because honesty is the best policy. Bye. I look swollen in the morning. Is that like a thing that happens to people too? Like you all look swollen in the morning, or is it just me who looks swollen? It could just be a me thing. I don't know. Anyway, it's 9:41 in the morning, which means I have sprints in about 20, in 19 minutes. I can't count this morning. When I last talked to you all, I think I was on page 100. I'm on page 122 now, so like not super far. But something did just like big really happen. A character just now like died, and I was like, whoa, wait, not at all expecting that death in the book, just because this character I feel like was important, but maybe they're important now in the sense that their death is more important. And it is. Their death definitely jump-started a different event that happened after the fact. So I like the way that everything is kind of this domino effect in this book. I'm having the best time trying to figure out this whole heroism slash villainous aspect, because you have two characters who want to become basically extraordinary people. They want to be superheroes. The thing is, this book definitely is questioning what makes someone a hero and what makes someone a villain, because you have a character who seems like the obvious hero and the obvious villain. In my mind, I think they're probably going to be opposite, or maybe neither of them will be one of these things, because again, is it saving mankind that makes you a hero, or does being a good person make you a hero? But the person who is considered a hero in this book is kind of blowing my mind, because I'm like, nothing about this person so far seems good to me. But I'm going to keep reading. I have sprint soon, so I'm on Zoom still with my friends. I slept for about 3.5 hours. I don't really feel super well rested. I have a slight, like, my face just like feels swollen. I don't know, it's freaking weird. Like, I feel like somebody punched me in my right eye. Did one of y'all punch me in my sleep last night? I have like a slight like headache. So honestly, I think I'm gonna make this a 48-hour readathon instead of 24 hours. I'm gonna go and get ready now for the sprints, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Greetings, hello. It is I don't know, almost 2 p.m. I just finished the first part of Vicious. Like, it's 2 parts, so I just finished part 1. A lot just went down in the last like 50 pages. So the series is called Villains, and this is book number 1 of the Villains series. So it's supposed to have this like villainous slash superhero feeling to it, and it does, but not in the sense of like Marvel. For example, this is giving me more of like what I think a DC movie would be like, because it's on the more darker side, psychological side. DC movies tend to have that dark psychological aspect to it versus like Marvel, where it's more humorous and very superhero-esque in nature. This book, it begs the question, like, what's really good and what's really evil? Because although we can do things with good intent, we can do things in our minds that make sense because it's the right thing to do, but really, to many others, it is absolutely evil. It's wrong. So Eli he's doing certain things. He's doing it in the name of right versus wrong. But the issue is that he doesn't view himself as being unnatural or wrong, but he views other people who are extraordinaries as well. Eli's kind of looking at other people who are like him as being made incorrectly if their ability goes against nature. However, his whole... They're loud. Both Victor and Eli go against human nature. So it's interesting to see this very morally great character work through what he believes is right and wrong and how he acts on these things. I think Eli is just honestly evil. I don't see him as being morally great. I don't see him as doing anything for the right reason. I don't even think his intent is pure. I think that he's very egocentric. I think that he believes he's above other people. I don't like him, which is a good thing because he's not a likable character. But then you have also this sense of like, for Eli, where's your loyalty? Because your loyalty isn't to your friend Victor, it isn't to other extraordinaries. Is it just to yourself? Eli sees himself as being the judge, the jury, and the executioners. Written very well though, I will say. Victor, on the other hand, is definitely morally gray because he's doing things too. He has this underlying jealousy thing going on with Eli. Victor wants Eli to see himself the way Victor's always seen Eli. So it's very multi-dimensional when it comes to Victor's motivations and the things that he does. It's not always to help other extraordinaries or to help other human beings or even himself. Sometimes it's really just to prove a point because he needs to be right. The plot's very well written. Everything is paced nicely. There's not a moment where I'm like, okay, let's get to something happening. Something's always happening, even if it's something kind of on the smaller scale. That small scale event is very impactful later in the book. So it's a great time. I don't know why it took so long to read this book. I'm loving it. I'm almost halfway. The goal is to be done in a couple hours so that I can start The Wicked King. But like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure I told y'all, or maybe that was on the live stream, I don't remember. But I'm gonna make this a 48-hour readathon just because I want to finish more books. I don't want to feel like I'm stressing myself out about trying to read all these books in one day. It's just not gonna happen for me. Like, I don't know. That happened one time and that was a fluke apparently. So with that being said, when I come back, I will probably be done with this book. So we're gonna have a brief intermission and I'm gonna have Past Tense Delisa come to you with a quick illumicrate unboxing. Okay, enjoy. It's that time of the month again. For those of you who are not aware, illumicrate is a book box company based out in the UK. You can get a subscription for 3 or 6 months, but you can also opt to just get one box just for the book itself. However, I have a code down in the description box, and my code is Delisa5. It will be down here and in the description box below, and that code can get you some 5% off, some monies off of your next 3 or 6 month book subscription. So this is technically not this month, it's not June, this is the May box, not the June box. I genuinely have no clue what the book is this month, but I'm very, very excited to find out. So let's dive right into this box. I think the theme was Change Your Stars. I know I can't remember. I say I can never remember, but then I always end up remembering. For May, the theme is Change Your Stars, and this is a spoiler card that comes in every box that you will get. So I'm not gonna look in the spoiler card because I don't wanna know. So to start off with, okay, this is new. I don't know what this is. I don't know. Oh, but what is this? It's a tin can, so it's made out of tin. It has like some dragons on it. I'm not sure what book or fandom this comes from. You can open it, and this is how the top looks. And the inside, but I like it. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so next, this is so pretty. It's a pin, and look at this beautiful dress. This is my wedding dress. I'm kidding, it's not, but it's really pretty. I'm not sure what fandom this came from. I'm not sure what dress this is, but I love this dress. Okay. This is cool. I don't know what this is either. Okay. I don't know what this is. Do you? Because I don't. I also don't know where this came from. It's quite heavy. It's made nicely. I just don't know what it is. Maybe y'all know. This is the monthly enamel pin. I'm not gonna open that quite yet. But I also don't know what this... We got a journal! Oh, whoa, May book box? May? This book box is quite freaking nice. We got a journal and it says, ideas are so much wilder than memories. And I know this is from Addie LaRue. We have a book sleeve. This is my first book sleeve ever. I've never had one before. Let me get y'all a closer look. So you have this book sleeve. It's very nice. Don't know what castle this is. I don't know who these characters are. If I had to take like a really wild guess on the characters, maybe it's like, I don't know. I'm gonna look at the pin. I'm not gonna look at the title of the pin though. Stay with me. We're not going to look at the name. We're just gonna look at the pin, okay? I'm covering it up so I cannot see it. I see here, it looks like some steps, okay? It's time to find out the book. You know what? Okay, this is exciting. This is the Jasmine Throne, and I recently was watching someone on Twitter read this book, and they were raving about how good this book was. I don't know the specifics of this book, but I just know that I've heard great things so far from those who have read it. And then we also have, ooh, a letter. I love that. The back's a letter. Please get into this artwork. I love this. I have some stenciled edges here, as you can see, and it goes on the top and the bottom, which I really like. Underneath the dust jacket, it says, together they will change the fate of an empire. That is really nice with the gold foiling. It's like the elegance of the gold foiling that I love. So the inside says, are you ready for this? Because I am. One is a vengeful princess seeking to dispose her brother from his throne. Okay. The other is a priestess searching for her family. Together they will change the fate of an empire. Imprisoned by her dictator brother, Malini spends her days in isolation in the Hirana, an ancient temple that was once the source of powerful magic, but is now little more than a decaying ruin. Priya is a maidservant, one of several who make the treacherous journey to the top of the Hirana every night to attend Malini's chambers. She is happy to be an anonymous judge, as long as it keeps anyone from guessing the dangerous secrets she hides. But when Malini accidentally bears witness to Priya's true nature, their destinies become irrevocably tangled. I'm excited, so let's go through all these items and find out what the heck they are and where they came from, because y'all know I don't know. This is an elemental creatures tea tin. Oh, it's a tea tin. I've never had a tea tin before. And the artwork is by Shirley, which you can find them at Lion in the Trees on Instagram. And it is inspired by the Diva Bad trilogy. I have heard of the Diva Bad trilogy. And then we have, this was designed by Blissfully Bookish at Blissfully Bookish Tees on Instagram, and this pin comes from Girls of Paper and Fire. Like I said before, we have our journal here. It's a sketchbook actually, I'm sorry, and it was designed by Renata Krozik. You can find them on Instagram at rena.illustration, and this was inspired by The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. Is that this? That is this. Okay, so this is an Mba illumicrate. It was designed by Danielle. Their Instagram is at dalandon.el. It says here, the first key in our latest collection is inspired by Skyward and can be used to gain access to Mbot. So I don't know what Mbot is. I guess that's like a ship or something. I don't know. I never read Skyward, although Mel just told me to read Skyward actually, so maybe I'll read Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. Okay, that's kind of cool. As always, our stunning pen is designed by Stacey McAvoy-Kant. The artwork for the pen was inspired by Hirana, which is the ancient temple in the book, The Jasmine Throne. So, and then we have the book sleeve. This book sleeve was designed by Pauhami at Pauhami on Instagram, and it is the latest magical location book sleeve in this dark castle from Spinning Silver. So that's where this fandom came from. Thank you, illumicrate, of course, as always, for providing this box for me. And don't forget, if you want to use my discount code, you can. It is Delisa5. It'll be right here. I will also have it in the description box below, and you can use it only on 3 and 6 month book box subscriptions. So yes, now I'm gonna go read. Okay, so I said I wasn't going to update you all until I finished the book. I'm not finished, but I feel like I need to talk about Eli some more. because this is not an Eli stan account. Eli is the kind of character who questions himself a lot, but what I'm noticing is like when Eli gets his extraordinary powers, right, something happens to him, some kind of transformation happens to him, and he feels like something's missing, and he believes it's his soul that's missing. And he believes that for every extraordinary, he thinks that every extraordinary loses their soul when they gain these abilities. The thing is that so often I'm seeing that he's trying to justify his own missing soul or his own missing conscious. He's thinking that, okay, he's like the chosen one, nothing's wrong with him, something's different with him, whereas everyone else is like, he sees flaws, something's wrong with them, even though they're all extraordinary people. His character is making me think about people in real life who are so quick to kind of judge others and to have like these negative things about someone, even if that person who's doing the pointing is very similar. And with Eli, you know, he's not much different than these other extraordinary people. And my eyebrow looks horrible. What the flip? That's so off topic. I'm so sorry. I just switched on y'all so fast. I was just looking. Don't look too hard. You know what, freaking, I don't care. I don't freaking care. Who cares? Anyway, if you're going to be somebody who is going to outwardly judge someone often, it would be a good idea to do a little bit of introspection. It's all about perspective, really and truly. And then of course to like just this idea that we can see ourselves as being such amazing human beings and such great people, but we still have our own downfalls, we still have our own faults that can't go unchecked, you know? I don't know. The book's really freaking good so far. I'm more than halfway. I don't know what I would rate this book yet. Like, it's way too soon to tell. So remember how I said I wasn't gonna come back until I finished the book? Well, I still didn't finish the book, but for someone who is so downright certain that Victor is this horrible guy simply and only because he's extraordinary, everyone else is evil but Eli, it is this self-preservation that he has going on that's really annoying me, because I just read a chapter where the whole thing was pretty much going over all the things Eli is doing in the name of goodness and what's natural and what's right, the natural order of things. And it's annoying me because he literally says they're all extraordinary. He's like, me, I'm extraordinary, they're all wrong, but am I wrong in that same way? And he's like, no, I'm not wrong in that same way, I'm just different. Baby, that's not how that works, okay? That's just not how that works, because who made you the special one? Who made you the different one? You made you the different one. So that doesn't mean that that's right. The way that V.E. Schwab has connected these two characters is really just so beautifully done, because the two of them, they have this long history, decade-long history, and their friends turn rivals all because of science. It's like, is being just human not enough? Like, is that not enough for you? I don't know. Unless you want to save the world. I can't seem to figure out why you want to do any of this stuff in this book. Like, no. Risking your life for extraordinary abilities? Absolutely not. Count me out. I'll be ordinary my whole life. It's fine. For my first V.E. Schwab book, I'm very much impressed with the writing. The style is something that I definitely enjoy. It's fast-paced. It's gripping in all the right places and at the right moments. It's not too much all the time. Honestly, it even reminds me a bit of Ninth House, because it's giving me the college vibes. Not a whole lot, but they're in college for part of the book, but they're also doing these experiments with human bodies and nature, and Ninth House is very similar in that aspect. So I think if you enjoy Ninth House, you will enjoy Vicious. Vicious, on the other hand, is a bit more fast-paced. But it's definitely dark, so I definitely would put this in the same category as Ninth House, which explains why I'm loving it so much. So if you were disappointed with Ninth House because of the pacing, I think that you would enjoy Vicious much more. So maybe give it a try if you haven't and you tried Ninth House and didn't like it so much. But anyway, I keep looking at my computer because Mel's like dancing. Please look at her singing. Hold on. She's having the time of her life right now. Look at her. She had no idea I'm recording her either. Get it, Mel. Get it, girl. You better get it. It is Sunday. It's 11:30 in the morning exactly. Okay, it's 11:31 in the morning exactly, and I just got out of the shower. I'm running a bit behind my schedule, which my schedule honestly just consists of me getting up out of the bed. I really don't have any plans for today. I mean, I am sprinting with Mel. I'm gonna join her after I eat, so in about 30 minutes. So I can finish Vicious. This is definitely the worst readathon I've had freaking ever, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm pretty sure ever, because I don't think I can recall a time where I didn't finish at least one book. I don't know about you, but I know when I do the readathons, my room always gets messy. So many coffee mugs in here. Thankfully this morning I only have one next to me that I used this morning, so I did clean my room when I woke up. But I wanted to update you all on my reading so far. I finally finished Vicious. I gave it 5 stars. This book was fantastic. The writing is very captivating because we're always in the middle of everything, and there's never a moment where you're like getting any downtime in the story. You're kind of always in the mix. It was in such great sequential order. I mean, everything was laid out perfectly. The layout and the flow of this plot is one of the best that I've read. This is a fantasy novel. However, it doesn't read like your typical fantasy. It doesn't read like a fantasy because in terms of the world building, there isn't much there, and that's fine because it's not so much about the world. I mean, it's character based, it's plot driven too, but in terms of like the world, you really don't have to pay any attention to it because it's not really that important. And because this book followed the characters so closely, it made for just a really interesting and fast-paced ride. Every chapter I'm learning about this science experiment that, you know, Eli and Victor went through and what that was like for both of them. And when I tell you, every character had a purpose, even the ones that were only there for a few chapters. I enjoy that because I don't really care to see other characters in a story that are like there and introduced to you and you think they have some kind of importance, and then you find out that they don't really have much importance at all. It was so great. Definitely an easily 5-star book for me. Now, the ending is what solidified the 5 stars for me because, to be honest with you, as I was reading, I wasn't sure what I was gonna give this book, and not because it wasn't good. Everything that I was reading, I was enjoying, I was having a good time, but it needed to have that like wow factor, you know what I mean? And the ending was definitely the wow factor for me. So, would I recommend it? Yes, I would. I mean, it was just really nice. It was really greatly done, so fantastic. Now, I told y'all that I was going to be reading The Wicked King in this vlog. I'm not. Today is Sunday. It is literally 2:50 p.m. This has been the worst readathon for me. I just finished my first book. Because of that, and because I want to finish another book, I am going to finish Midnight Secretary Volume 3. I'm married for, I'm not sure. But I'm going to go ahead and finally, after all of these months, I'm finally going to finish You on audio. I'm about almost halfway, so I figured, you know what? It's not really cheating. It's just, you know. And I mean, You is like, it's your typical boy meets girl. Boy stalks girl because he's obsessed with her and will kill anyone and anything that gets in the way of him getting his girl. I have already seen this show, so as I've been reading this book, of course, I naturally think of like the characters who played both Joe and Beck and Peach. So it's really easy to kind of mentally see this happening and play out, which is nice. It makes it more fun. I just was having a hard time reading it on my own because it was really that disturbing. So I think that I need someone to just read it to me because reading it on my own is just not gonna work. So I'm gonna do that now, and yeah, I'll come back when I finish it. It's still Sunday, it's 7:28, so the day is pretty much over. I haven't finished another book yet, you know? I said I was gonna listen to the audiobook of You. I did for a bit, but then I fell asleep by accident for about 40 minutes, so I have like 2 hours, I think like 2.5 hours left of You to listen to, which is totally doable. So I'm gonna do that today. Anyway, I guess I can talk about You though, like what I've read up to this point. Like not just today, just like in general. I started this book months and months ago, so I mean, it's honestly just like the TV shows. For maybe those of you who don't know what this book is about, it follows this guy Joe, and Joe works at a bookshop. And at this bookshop, he meets this young woman, this beautiful, radiant young woman by the name of Guinevere Beck, and he finds her captivating. He is completely and totally enthralled by her, and so he stalks her. The whole time he's obsessing over her, she has no clue. She finds him, you know, adorable and clingy, but still like, I guess, the ideal guy for her or something. I don't know. He's smart. He is not like many guys that she dated in the past, so that's like a good thing, I guess, in her mind. And so Joe ends up taking all of these risks and doing all of these things to keep people from getting in the way of him being with her, and he'll do whatever it takes, like literally whatever it takes. We get his dialogue, but we're also in his mind, and it's a scary place to be. Joe's character, it's different because even though it's creepy, he's a very charismatic character. I read a book, like the YA version, I guess, of this book a few months back called The Obsession by Jesse Sutanto, and I didn't like it. It wasn't written well to me. It had potential for sure, but it just fell totally flat. I consider You to be like the adult version of that same story. The difference between, I feel like, Joe and the character from The Obsession, Joe has charisma. He's someone who is definitely likable if you're not in his mind like we are. I guess since I'm up talking to y'all, I guess I can listen to the audiobook now. I was gonna take a nap. Maybe we'll turn on the audiobook now, and then I will... I forgot what I was gonna say, I'm sorry. Whatever was coming, it left, because I don't know what the heck I was about to say. If I come back and say I didn't finish you, then you know I fell asleep. But I'm gonna try to put the audiobook on now. Deuces gooses. Good morning for me. For anyone watching, maybe good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So this is the end of my vlog. I usually am sitting up talking to y'all, but when I tell you that I'm so exhausted. But I wanted to update you all on the book You by Caroline Kepnes, and then on my last book, which was volume 4 of The Midnight Secretary by Tomu Omi. And let's finish You. I'm gonna give it probably 4 stars. I mean, it's nothing extravagant, which is why it's not getting 5 stars. So everything was fine. It was a good story. It was disturbing. It was creepy. The main character was written so well. As far as characters go, honestly, Peach was really annoying in the book. Beck was also annoying in the book. But they were also annoying in the TV show. So I mean, nothing was really that different. Obviously, reading the book, you got more details than you did by watching the TV show. But it was good. I don't have that much experience with like stalker books, so I'm not sure how that book would compare to others. I would say, to be completely honest, I wouldn't have read this book without the audiobook because it does become a lot. But I did finish volume 4 of The Midnight Secretary, which is a romance manga. It's like a paranormal romance manga, and it follows 2 characters, Kaya and Kayohei. Kaya is like this really hardworking young girl. She's in her early 20s, and she is a secretary for this company, and she finds out that her boss is actually a vampire, and so she ends up being like recruited to become his personal secretary. She's just kind of like quiet and reserved, but Kaya takes pride in how hard she works at her job. However, her boss, Kayohei, he's definitely not the nicest person in the world. He's pretty selfish. He can be very demanding. Pretty much your textbook like bad boy, the guy you definitely should not fall for in a book or in a movie or whatever. And then add on to the fact that he's a vampire. So imagine Damon in manga form, but like old Damon. We're talking like not nice Damon from the Vampire Diaries. So it's kind of how Kayohei is. I love the manga because like overall, because it is really good. It's very spicy. So I just want you to know there is some hot moments in there. But this last volume, I didn't vibe with as much, and I didn't finish it until this morning, but Mel was telling me how she felt about it when she finished it, and I see why she felt that way now, because honestly, in this one, there's a new character who's introduced, and this new character kind of changes the way Kayohei acts towards Kaya, and I don't like it, because I feel like at this point now, Kaya is just like this object, but in this last volume she's treated very badly, and it was hard to read because she's so in love with her boss. So I did give it 3 stars. I don't know how it's gonna end, but I'm gonna keep reading the manga, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, this was a very extended 24-hour readathon vlog. I'm exhausted, y'all. I'm so tired. I haven't really slept much the past 4 days, and it's Tuesday morning, so I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. I hope that you all enjoyed my vlog very much. I had so much fun this time around. I think this might be my favorite readathon that I've done with them since we started this last year. Anyone who joined the readathon this weekend, I'm so glad that you came. I hope that you had so much fun. I know I had a blast. I already cannot wait until next month's readathon because I just know it's going to be so much fun, and I hope that y'all have a wonderful day, and I hope that you had a wonderful weekend. So I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.